Hello, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. So today's episode, I'm not sure where it's going to go, and it won't even be finished filming today, but I wanted to show you guys exactly what's happening. I'm working on the Flomax car. So since the last video, which was the first drive video with the Lamech, I did get a couple of logs done for Ken. Now, we have noticed a couple of issues. So what we've started off doing, because of all of the PID work that was done with these turbos on the original engine, we basically just started logging the variations or the versions of the maps that we were using at the start of the year with the old engine. So far I've logged the base map, version 3 and version 6, and it's allowed us to compare data across the three maps. Now, something that has been consistent with version 3 and version 6, now those are the two maps where we start to wind the power up, is the car it's not leaning out, but rail pressure is dropping a little bit too much, down to about 1100 psi, 1200 psi on tip-in. So when I first load the car up around 3,500 RPM, and it basically gets to the point where it's going to need to pump the fuel in to make the power, the rail pressure is dropping too much. So we've got to sort that out. Now, there's a couple of ways we can go about it. We can lean on the injectors, but what Ken wants to do, or the DI, but what Ken wants to do is lean on the port injection. The port injection base map that I am using has not been changed since I loaded it in December last year. It is set up for, I should know what it's set up for, but it's set up for 950cc injectors. This car has 1000cc injectors in it, and Ken uses it as a base map for most of his customers. The only thing playing on my mind is these Flomax turbos are pumping so much air, it might just need a little bit of tweaking to suit the extra amount of air that the Flomax is doing for standard twins. Now, why wasn't it a problem at Christmas time? All I can put it down to is air density. It was so hot when we were playing with this car December, January time. It was January time with the turbos, I guess. We've got more air. We've got more air going in right now, so the engine is going to need to put more fuel in as well, and I think that's why it's an actual problem now. Don't get me wrong, AFRs are spot on. The AFR is locked on target. It's not running lean, but rail pressure on the direct injection is dropping a little bit too much. Yeah, anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Now, I hadn't filmed this whole process because I'm using the AIC split-second controller, and sometimes it's just terrible. It's an old piece of software. I'm using the wrong laptop, the wrong cable, but we have just downloaded the map. If anybody knows how to get the AIC to display nicely, please let me know. It doesn't matter what I do. I just don't know how to get it so I can see all the numbers, but I can hover over and work out what they are. But what Ken wants me to do is add 10% fuel to every cell. I just did the wrong thing. Let me do that again. So actually there might be a button, select all. So we've selected all the cells, and I'm pretty sure that button there, change by. All right, we can change everything by 10%. You can see I did a practice run before, and the ones that I'm sort of worried about really are the top end where everything's working, but everything has been increased by 10%. So it's gone from 4.4 to 4.6. Quick maths. Now let's write this back to the car, which I think is that button there. Yes, overwrite the ECU. Yes, the car is on. We're connected through COM ports, and it's working. All right, awesome. I'm gonna get this loaded back up to the car. I'm also gonna I've got another oil filter, got some standard style oil filters, which is what's in all those boxes over there. So I'm gonna do another oil change on this transmission. Keep in mind, we did have the problem with the URO oil filter, and oil pressure problems and clutch slip, and the oil that's in there just smelled terrible. So I'm gonna give it another oil change, a fresh filter, and you'll probably see me in the morning because it's getting a bit late now. We'll go out, we'll do a test drive, we'll do some logs, and we'll see what this motor's doing with these adjustments. And a revision from Ken. All right, guys, thank you very much. Well, it is the next day. Last night, I got the transmission filter changed, and I have gone to just a normal plastic aftermarket one. I didn't get any pictures of it, but I did measure the outlet that goes up into the transmission, and it's the same size as genuine, so hopefully it's fine. We have also done another fluid flush. The fluid that was coming out of it was still not the cleanest in the world, but hey, at least it's got some cleaner fluid in it now. You may also notice we now have AR1s on the back. That is because we have got Ken's revised map on it now, and I need to be able to lean on it and not spin up the tires, and this was legit. Spinning up fourth gear on a roll-on, like a gentle roll-on. These Dunlop, I'll show you guys what tires they are. Like, they're a meaty tire. What are they though? They are a Dunlop Dunlop Sport Max. So Dunlop Sport Max, 4th gear, no traction on a gentle roll-on when I'm trying to log, which is kind of crazy. And that's rolling on from like 3.5. What else has happened? Trying to sort out the ultrasonic weird noise that the oil filter makes. Let me just play you a clip of it now. Yeah, it's really starting to concern me. I don't know what it is, and I didn't notice it, or you don't notice it when the oil's cold, but as the oil heats up, it starts to make that noise. It's got something to do with oil flow. Oil going somewhere it's not supposed to go. I don't know, let me know what your thoughts. I really want to try and work out what this noise is. It worries me. And speaking of worrying noise, let me play you another one that I noticed when I was doing the transmission feel yesterday. Yes, so that little noise there, that sounds like knock. And I reckon I've been hearing that a little bit. And I sort of freaked out a bit last night. I spent a long time worrying about it, checking what's going on, trying to understand why the engine is making that knocking noise, and poking around with the stethoscope. I always forget what they're called. It's actually the power steering pump. The power steering pump is starting to knock on this car. I kind of forgot to connect the power steering lines on that first start, but there was still oil in it, and it only took about 400 to 500 milliliters to top it up. It's still got oil in it now. But yeah, we have got a little bit of a power... Oh, that is really clean. Still the green colour. We have got a little bit of a power steering knock, which is kind of annoying. Don't know what's going to be the result of that. It's probably going to need a power steering pump, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's normal and I'm just hypersensitive to the noises this thing's making at the moment. Let me know if you think that sounds normal. But that distinct knocking noise you can hear in that clip is the power steering. Yeah, I think we're about ready to drop it down on the floor, take it for a test drive. I'll meet you once we get out on the road. Just thought I'd show you guys some shifts. So the Trans is still adapting. Something I've noticed after that first drive video, I can't remember if I mentioned it on camera yet, but now when I'm slowing down and coming to a stop at a T-junction or a set of lights, the downshifts from 4th to 3rd are a little bit harsh, and then 3rd to 2nd are too harsh. So that is something that I need to get Lamech to do, or adjust if he can. I'm sure he can. He still hasn't made any adjustments to this transmission tune since the day we were trying to work around the URO pan. So considering what you can do with it at this point, I'm still super impressed with it. But I would like to work out why it bites so much on the D-cell. Yeah, I'm just gonna get everything to warm up, and I'll show you guys doing some pulls. I usually log this car through 3rd and 4th with the 6AT, and I was logging it 3rd, 4th, and 5th the other day, and Ken has specifically asked me not to log multiple gears, just to do a pull from down low all the way to 7 grand. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let me get some heat into it. I'll do some adaptation pulls, and yeah, we'll go from there. And hopefully we'll have this rail pressure dropping issue fixed. That's what I would like to achieve today. Also keen to see how it feels with some decent tyres, not wheel spinning all the time. Alright, see you guys in a second anyway. Yeah, I just sort of show you this point of view. It's in manual mode at the moment, and the gearbox is kind of good. Just does what you need it to do. We'll see if it'll do a downshift. Nice smooth downshift. It's going to hold the car's speed going down quite a steep hill. And then we'll roll some boost on. Jesus Christ, that was the speed limit. So 4th gear downhill is fun. Actually, let me put it back to auto, and I'm going to do a complete stop at the end of the street. You just see if the car jolts. It's probably going to be hard to pick up on the GoPro. So light braking. 4th to 3rd is nice. And then it's 3rd to 2nd. It's 3rd to 2nd. So yeah, we need to try and get that adjusted if we can. It's just, I don't know, it's shifting into 2nd too quickly. All right. I'm going to do a few more minutes of driving and we'll do some logs, eh? All right, so Ken wants a log from nice down low in the RPM range, which just feels mean on the engine. Anyway, we'll give it a go. Okay, that was in, I think that was in normal D mode, which is why it shifted a bit early. All right, we'll pull up and we'll have a look at these logs. I might have to overlay this, but you can see there as it starts to roll on and it starts to make boost. Yeah, rail pressure drops again, but now we're only dropping to about 1700 PSI. Then the port injection really kicks in and we're all good. So we fixed the rail pressure problem. All right, let me get it in sports mode and we'll do some really decent logs. We'll wind it out to 7,000. Okay. All right, so I'm actually logging with the Turbo Lamic as well. MHD should auto log, but yeah, I want to see what torque gets reported to the Turbo Lamic from the can. So we'll see how we go. Fourth gear, try and roll on from 2000, flat out. It's spinning up fourth gear. What the hell with AR1s? All right, we got the log. Well, I've got the logs for Ken. That's all good. This is probably about, I don't know, could be an hour since you guys last saw me. And a reason there's been a few less videos lately. We've got the move happening. I'm learning a lot about how the Lamic controller works. I've just been going through so many menus, torque settings. I noticed, like I was trying to work out why the downshifts are so aggressive, and I noticed that the diff ratio was wrong. So the Lamic has a diff ratio of 2.6 stored, and this car's got a 3.46 diff, and I was like, oh, cool. I also did a log and noticed that the wheel speed was off. So the Lamic thought the car was going faster than it really is. So I thought maybe it's a diff calculation that's causing that discrepancy, and the car thinks it's going faster than it is, which is why it's downshifting a bit too early. Made sense in my mind. Anyway, I changed the diff ratio and then it drove fine until it got to fourth gear, and then it felt really bad. So I pulled over and I just reloaded a backup of everything, just to make sure that everything's doing what it should be doing. But yeah, I mean, that process was like a 45-minute process of me checking, reading, carefully loading the backup and going again. But yeah, it scared the crap out of me. It was like, as it engaged fourth, it was like someone was slamming the brakes on. Not aggressively, but like tapping the brakes. So I would back off and have a panic attack. Anyway, yeah, so sorry the updates aren't overly good, but I'm just learning and I don't want to talk about stuff that's just wrong or give you guys information that's not helpful. I am learning a lot in the background. Yeah, aside from trying to move and other bits and pieces that are going on, I'm also putting a max ECU on the Evo, so I've been doing a lot of learning about how to run the maxes and how to set those up. Just got a lot going on. I am supposed to have my turbo today, although it's coming up quite late, so it's probably not going to happen. That's the turbo for the E92, the single turbo conversion. Once I got the turbo, I think will be good to actually start work on fitting it. But there's some cool stuff, which I'll talk about when I unbox the turbo, I think. Anyway, guys, apologies for the lack of useful information, but there's just so much learning going on. The Lamic TCU controller, although it works out of the box, there are thousands and thousands of configuration options. So I'm trying to get my head around them and learn how to tune them, learn how to make them do what you want them to do, but it's not something that I can get any information from. It's literally just looking at a setting. What does that setting do? How's that going to affect stuff? And then I'll message Lucas and ask him, and he'll, yeah, that's how it's gone at this point in time. So I haven't really done much. I'm worried about damaging the transmission, which I don't want to do to this car. Anyway, more videos coming, I promise. Thank you very much for watching.